So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our speaker, who has served his country as an executive officer in the Indian Navy for more than 30 years. And he is currently the Secretary of the Services Sports Control Board. Please help me welcome to the stage Commodore Varun Singh.
Honorable Sports Minister, may I take the guest name first, Assam. Honorable Sports Minister, Mizoram, and the distinguished luminaries of the Indian sports galaxy. It's indeed a matter of proud privilege to be here as a Fauji, a naval officer, far from sea, though Bangladesh is very close by. But the vision which has been identified by Mizoram goes a long way, which I'll come to subsequently. I am Commodore Varun Singh, a Marine Commando, which probably if you have been catching up with news, has come to light in Arabian Sea. I was declared dead officially twice, but resurrected because of the community support, the family support. And why this is relevant to sports, probably I can answer that as a question. But it's a fortune for me to come to Mizoram for the first time in such a warm, welcoming place. This longitude and latitude has been different. And from the scorching heat of almost 45 to 46 degrees at Delhi, this is absolutely pleasant one. And the organizing committee has done a wonderful job of making this place literally heaven for us. So thank you, sir, for ideating this particular thing, and the organizing committee for making it such a wonderful experience. Why sports? Probably it's a no-brainer question in such a gathering. It's a very holistic activity, as Shiva had brought out, and central to the theme of Vision 36, or for whatever we are doing for the sports, is the player. He's at the center. So his holistic development, when we're talking about it, is right from grassroots level to making him an elite athlete. It's a character building process. And it's not only his character building, it is a character building process of the entire community, entire state, entire nation. A simple gold medal from Neeraj Chopra could make India as the javelin village of the world. That is the power one person can bring. And I was speaking to Neeraj Chopra, I think so a year back, and what he told me still has etched in my mind and heart. He told me in very simple words, sir, if this fame, name, money, adulation, if it is given to every struggling sportsman, you would have got 10 Neeraj Chopras today. And that is the gap in which we are living. We are a country, or rather as humans, we always run after success. If someone succeeds, he has multiple fathers and mothers. Everyone wants to associate himself with that succeeded achiever. But whilst he is struggling, there is no helping hand coming to him. So that is a gap. And with the vision of the government, the state governments, if that is the vision, I'm sure this gap is going to close much faster than what we are expecting. Because as a player, we can keep working hard, but unless we get that push. And ma'am, I'll come to your dilemma, mother's dilemma also, which is a very intriguing question. And very sure, as parents, many of us would have gone through it. Why should I send my kid to a sporting culture when there is no future? The shelf life of a sportsman, I don't think so. It ranges, depending on the game, maybe from 4 years to 10 years. Kamleshwar would have probably played much longer for the sport, but the high-performance sports, the shelf life is very small. So every parent is definitely going to fear what my child is going to do. So there has to be a program wherein holistically, again I'll come back to Shiva, that session was amazing. It actually covered everything what we need to do to get to 2036. So if we have a very holistic approach towards developing this sports person right from the young age, again I'll quote Neelam, what she said, the state-of-the-art facility should be at the local place, in situ. Like in army also, we have boys sports company. At the age of 10 to 13, we pick them up. We keep scouting all over the country. We pick them up, take them to our boys sports company. Depending on their talent, we make them play a particular game. And many of them, and Jeremy is one of them. He's the local hero who was with us in the boys sports company. So if we uproot them from their local place, take them to a metropolitan, like recently we have shifted hockey from Danapur, which is the tribal belt for hockey players, shifted to Bangalore. No parent will allow their 10-year or 12-year kid to go to Bangalore in a cosmopolitan city and remain like an alien. Rather, even the sports person or the kid would love to be in his place, going back to his parents, going back to his folks, his friends, develop that kind of a character and the sports skill. They both have to go tandem if we have to produce the achievers in times to come. And coming to the sports culture per se, undoubtedly, the centrum, the player, has to be supported by the family, community, you can call it state, and the nation. It has to go upwards. As Honorable Chief Minister was telling, there's not much where the actually state or the nation can push you. There are so many intermediate level. We have associations, we have federations who play a massive role in developing that sports person. Because every state, after he plays a national event, he's taken over by the federations. And federations are bereft of government intervention so that they can actually put the best practices in place and develop that player. So hats off to the amazing job being done by the various federations. Imagine right from district level to international level. There are occasions when they don't get funds also. So all on their own. I'm very sure Sachdeva sir is here only. He will vouch for this. They have to pay from their pockets to take the team to national and international levels. So the federation plays an important role. Definitely, once you have the player, you have the supporting system which comes from right from community to federation to the government through their policies. And the final thing is your funds. Unless this is there, these things cannot be propelled to the desired end state. So all three put in together, and I'm very sure every government, every federation, every state, and every association is actually running for that. So CSR comes in a big way. Sponsorship, the media houses, they again have a major role. Had the media houses not been there, Neeraj Chopra also would have just disappeared in oblivion. So it is that power of media house that we are watching every game in our mobile, in that smartphone of ours. So bringing that sporting culture through the smartphone in everybody's hand itself is a great victory. I'll say the digital transformation. It is that connecting of the fans with the sports and therefore with the sportsman. It's a huge step. So coming back, I just got about 20 minutes, so I'll not spend most of it probably talking to you one way. Leave the floor open more for questions if you have any. So two things. One, I told you about Neeraj Chopra. Other thing, interesting thing, which I would like to tell you about the Russian model. We had gone once on an official trip on a defense visit. Almost 20 to 30 kilometers, in and around 20 to 30 kilometers, they have one multi-sports stadium, or the facility you can call it. They time share, which means morning 6 to 7, sports A, 7 to 8, sports B. So here we are economizing the creation of infrastructure by putting the Olympic coaches, which means Olympic coaches standing from 6 to 7, say table tennis. Whosoever is interested in table tennis, he comes. He is getting coached right from D1, day one, from the best in the business. So this model probably works wonderful for that large country, and I'm very sure states like, we are not actually dearth of land area, especially the hilly area has got its own set of problems, but I'm very sure such a facility, as the sports minister Mizoram was also telling, like he's trying to reach every village. If that is his motto, I'm very sure the talent scouting and hunting will be much easier, much simpler, for the corporates of the federations to take their own. Sustainability, I'm very sure, to develop a sustainable ecosystem, much was talked in the panel discussion itself. I'm not a specialist in that, but I can just narrate from our experience in dealing the 4Gs when it comes to the sports. Just to put things in perspective, even in this Olympic pursuit, 24, 90, Indian contingent of 90 has already been selected. The final call is yet to be taken. And out of the 90, 17 are 4Gs. But these 4Gs, with a lot of pride I say, we have element from every state, every corner of the country. We don't represent a state, we represent a nation, fully aided by the federations, and they are taking care of the sportsmen once they are delivered. So, coming to the stability, the mother's dilemma. If a mother is assured that my kid, if he plays well, if he gets selected, he's taken care of. If that can be assured, and government is doing a lot of job on that as well. All the boards, be it services board, be it railways, be it petroleum, be it banks, we are identifying all these achievers and enrolling them. Today, at the age of 17, Army, Navy and Air Force all put together, we have a sports quota of 1 person, which means any medalist, national or international, we just recruit them. He is secured for life. So that is the stability which armed forces is giving to the sportsman. If he is assured that my back end is taken care of, my family is taken care of, I am very sure he can focus singularly on his skills. He is left free to participate anywhere. The federation identifies it, takes them for international experiences, national experiences. He keeps participating. The leagues, even that has become a very welcome change. Though it may attract a lot of eyeballs in terms of money it beholds, but the experience, playing with different kind of people in the same game, that itself is huge. So ladies and gentlemen, another aspect which probably Neelam brought out during her panel discussion was the accessibility. We may make the state-of-the-art multi-sport infrastructure in corner A, B, C. If I'm not able to reach there for whatever reason, the footfall will drop. It will lose its utility. And if we enforce that people have to go and play, they will further drop. It has to be an encouraging experience. And I'm very sure, as Shiva told, it's a lifestyle. Just for information of this gathering, there is a World Military Sports Council. We may fight in the battles, but when it comes to sports, we are fostering friendship through sports. Pakistan might be a so-called said enemy, but in the military world sports, we compete with them. So sports has got no enemy, it's got no boundary of anything, not even age for that matter, in times to come. So with no boundaries laid, imagine there won't be any wars. As a 4G, I'm not supposed to be telling this because that's my bread and butter, but if we don't have wars, imagine the peace which can prevail in the whole world. The happy faces of the sports person, the families, and so much. So if, without cheating, a very important point, without cheating, if we can play for the fun of it, to build our own sportsman spirit, to build our own character, I'm very sure the nation has to go a long way. So the vision document, which has already been produced, hats off to Sports Minister Mizoram for even conceptualizing this. And I'm very sure, as Chief Minister told, if we can conceive it, if we believe it, I'm very sure by 36 we can transport this to a mission and we can achieve that as well. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much. Open to questions if you may have any. And why I told about my death experience with the sports has got a lot. The forge trains us so hard that when I was hit by a bullet, my hand fell off. And when I wanted to take the weapon which I was carrying on my right hand, it was not there. It was lying almost a feet away. I had to pull that rifle onto my left hand to shoot. So that is the mental training, that even subconsciously you will do what you're supposed to do over a period of time. So that is the beauty of sports, beauty of continuity training. I can't live on my laurels. Okay, last event, I performed so and so, I will do it again. No. It is an everyday evolution. You have to fight out physically, you have to fight out mentally, which is even more difficult. Physically, everyone is at that level. It is that mental capacity, the equilibrium, the equanimity which he has to maintain. Here comes the coaching, mentoring of everybody, right from his friend to his family, to his association, federation, and the nation. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'll be very grateful if any questions asked from my side. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful opportunity and probably giving us an opportunity to visit as well. Thank you.
I think we're free to ask questions. Please, anyone?
So while the questions are coming to the mind, I'll just again reshare. So at the age of 17, the doors for Army, Navy and Air Force are open for recruitment. So as the sportsmaster was requesting, or rather directing, we will try. If you can identify players, as Jeremy was picked up right at the very beginning of his sporting career, we would like to send our coaches. Again, the coaches, I think so that is a problem area everywhere. When the sports person, the achievers are on the decline, that is a point probably we can rehabilitate them as coaches. We are trying to do it in our services itself, because a podium finisher, when he has to go out to patrol, which is not his primary job, we are hurting his sentiments. We are putting a wrong example to the new sports person. So we have to take cognizance of that fact.
I'll just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You were talking about the coaches, and then we know there's a dearth of coaches. But do you think that every state can, northeastern particularly, these northeastern states, if they ask to the central government or to wherever the agencies are for the number of coaches, as many as we require, will it be possible for us to get it?
Ma'am, you're at the helm of administrative affairs. You have to just demand. We are there to serve. So it's very much possible, ma'am, and I'm very sure, ma'am, you must be dealing with so many federations. Even they have. Once the life of a sports person is on the decline, I'm very sure they can be converted to coaches much faster.
But I just wanted this answer only. When you want to go for a coach, you need to be certified as a coach. And when you are a player, you are not a coach. But if I want a coach, even if I don't get a coach, I will better go for an option with a player who had gone a medal, who will be able to give me a better perception. But the thing is that when you don't have the identity of a coach, why is still there not a particular way of giving it a direct direction from I am in the government, but I'm in the low government, I'm talking of a central government, but why is there not a particular direction saying that a player who has not played anymore, has retired, can also be a coach in wherever it is being required?
Ma'am, opportunities are being given to them as well. Sir, we do conduct so many coaches program and all those things. So federations are doing that as well, ma'am. So we identify, okay, this person who's on his decline should go for a level 1, level 2, level 3 coaching programs as well. Till the time, the problems which we are facing as services is, my boys are not so well educated. So when it comes to education or passing those level 1, 2, 3 exams, they fail in that. So we try and we ask or request the federations to dovetail or manage a structural change in the coaching program, wherein at least they can be on-ground coaches. They learn from their experience, and the massive experience they have collated last 7, 8, 9 years, that can be actually passed on to the players.
I'll just more elaborate on it. Do you think that if I talk of the word of coach, I'm not bifurcating, neither I'm separating, but just a query from my side. Do you think that the perception of a foreign coach and an Indian coach, does it make any difference?
It does, ma'am, and ways our distinguished guest, probably he was mentioning that only. They have more experience when it comes to technology. Our boys are still struggling with the technology, and therein we have requested for the private sectors to step in, the academies which are stepping in. Why are they doing better? Firstly, they are funded well, and they have the advantage of technology, which the government organizations per se, even we don't have. So we are also relying on outside factors. When it comes to foreign coach, your boxing secretary is here, he'll get to know. So we had a foreign coach of boxing also for the Indian team. And finally, he was told to step down, somebody else was brought in. He brings in wealth of experience from external, because our opponent will be the European ones. A very simple example, ma'am, hockey. We were the magicians of hockey when it came to 1928 to that 3 decades. When Europeans thought that they can't beat us in hockey, they changed the turf. And I'm very sure the moment we start gaining glory in the turf, hockey turf, they'll change something else. So they have to be one up. We are in a catching up situation, but I'm very sure with the corporates stepping in, I'm very sure, because since they are hiring the foreign coaches, we'll be at it. But I will request you, you should tell the sports ministry to send at least the top players. Like suppose we give Jeremy back to sir. Yeah. Won't he be an inspiration as well as a coach? So that kind of thing.
If I do not ask a question, it would be injustice from my side, because my Assam colleagues here just, raised 3 questions already. So my only question is, it's not a question, it's a request in fact, that, from a state like Mizoram, it is not easy to participate in the recruitment rally for the, services sports personnel. So my request is that would it be possible from the Services Sports Control Board to send your coaches to Mizoram to do some kind of a recruitment rally in sports, maybe in selected disciplines, which we believe that we are good at. Can we make a request to the board, and can you do the needful from your side?
It shall be done, sir. You have to just ask. It's a win-win situation for the nation. I take it that way, sir. Because we have an army unit here as well, we can have the recruitment rally here as well, and if they have the potential, why not?
Hello. Yeah, the reason why I'm saying is that, in India we don't have many professional sports. Apart from cricket, football and some other 4 or 5 disciplines. The rest we have to depend on maybe a certain, army, or maybe the fortunate ones may end up training in Inspire Institute of Sports or any other, academy run by the big corporates. But the rest of them, they will have to earn their bread and butter through other ways, and in the meantime engage in sports. It's not easy for the sports person. That's why, I very much would like to, request the Services Sports Control Board. And yes, if needed, I will write a letter. Then, in Mizoram or in the northeastern states of Mizoram, we can organize such trials or recruitment rally for the sports person. Then we may invite the sports person from Assam also to come over to Aizawl for this recruitment rally.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful idea, sir. And
it's not even a question, it's a statement now,
Absolutely, sir. And we take it with a lot of pride. And the advantage of recruiting in situ is the boys will flourish better. In a different place, all of a sudden put to a recruitment test, they may not perform the same. So it is always ideal to check them in their home ground and thereafter train them and make them an elite athlete. It's very much possible, sir. Sir.
Hello. Yeah, I have a little question. The services have always been performing really well in our national competitions. I think at the last national games in Goa, if I'm not wrong, it was number 2.
In men's section, we call it number 1.
So, which brings me to my question. So you were number 2 despite competing in only half the field, which is only in the men's. So the question is, and I know that you have, something to address this. What are you doing for women's recruitment in sport, and is that something that we can see grow, so these opportunities for women.
Great, sir. I just forgot to address this. Thank you for the question. The recruitment in Forge has also started for the females. And especially in the individual games to begin with. We have Indian boxing secretary also here. So this time we had one of the girls, Havaldar Jasmine. She has been selected for Olympics. And we have Ritika Huda, wrestling. She's been selected for Olympics. So it's a great win, and definitely what you said, it really pinched us this time in nationals when we were actually robbed of our trophy. But nevertheless, a win for Maharashtra is a win for nation. I take it that way. And most of the Olympic events, they were beyond the Olympic event. So we are focusing only on the Olympic event. So that we can't address. But yes, the female section, the mightier section, we have started enrolling them in the Forge as well. So it's just a matter of time, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, this is Kamlesh Mehta here.
Sir.
Army has a very good sports science center in Pune, very highly developed. And sports science, as you know, is very important part in development of sports. And India is definitely progressing very fast in this segment. Is it some way that this academy's facility can be made available to select sports person of various state associations or state bodies or states itself?
Just to put slightly corrected, sir, we do have a sports medicine center at Pune also, and small pockets at every place also. We have not still evolved. Recently, I went to National Cricket Academy in Bengaluru, amazing facilities. So we can't compete. We also get stuck with this L1 process through GEM. So that is how we are actually requesting intervention from the private sectors. We have pool, but we are not still organized. We are very random. So to not give you the best will not be correct. But most welcome anytime, with whatever resources we have, it's open for everyone. And Madam Minister had asked one more, rather she had put one more thought. The players who age, it's just like a family. If a grandson sees his parents not respecting their his or parents, he will met out the same result with them. So it is something like that. If the sports fraternity which is aging, which is downhill, if as a nation we don't respect them, we know we cannot encourage the youngsters. Because he's seeing after 10 years, that will be what will be meted to me. So we have to continue encouraging those who have given their best in whatever, in whichever field it is. There comes the role of coaching. They can be put to schools. Get to coaching. At least the small kids, they get to learn from the best, what India has. Yes, sir, sorry.
Yes, I just want to elaborate with what our ministers has said, that if you can open the selection procedure here in Aizawl, because I'm from Archery Association, we have come down for trials to Army Sports in Pune a few years back, and we come back empty-handed, and it's quite tiring to come down there and have a trial there. Or if you can make some program to select the players from Mizoram in not only in archery, some other sports also, so they'll be very helpful to us. Like what our minister has said, you can have locally more participant also, because it's quite expensive to come down there and come back there, and it's quite tiring. So I just want to support that, what our minister has requested. Thank you.
May I request you the other way around, sir? You make your 6-monthly program. I'm requesting all the associations of various sports. You make your 6-monthly program. You identify the talent which you have here. Probably in all the states, we can go individually also. I have to just send 2 coaches or 3. It can be done. Sure. So I've been directed, this is my last answer. So we will send the coaches for identification. Instead of you trying to pull you just make your program, Minister sir can always write to Defense Minister saying that this is my program. If you can send, not only us, ask the railway boards, because they're also a good source of providing jobs. I'm looking for the stability of these boys and their rehab when they fade out. These two aspects.
Just one more point, sir. I know time is very limited, but I'm from Mizoram Badminton Association. And when we speak about building sustainable sports ecosystem, as our sports minister has mentioned in the keynote address, infrastructure alone will not bring us medals in the Olympics. So what are the things needed for this ecosystem, like talent spotting and the support system, like funding and coaching also? But at the same time, from your observation and from your experience also, is there any parameters in which we can build a sustainable ecosystem in sports?
I think it's a very long discussion panel topic. I'll just summarize it. It's like it starts from the player. If we leave the player, it is from the community. The family should feel confident. I'm sending my boy for sports. Let him flourish. I'm there to back it up. If the government has fair, transparent, and ethical policies that they will support this family and the community, I'm very sure every parent will feel free to send their wards for a sports. Earlier, I don't know if you're versed with Hindi, generally we used to be told, padhoge, likhoge, banoge nawab, kheloge, khudoge, hoge kharab. It's something like, if you play, you'll spoil yourself. If you study, you will actually sing. But sports is the only thing. Imagine Neeraj Chopra, I may not get to meet him, but he comes and meets the Prime Minister. So that is the aura of a sportsman. We are lucky that 6-time Olympian is also sitting with us, but probably the forum is such. But sports is an activity which can get you instant glory. It can stop wars. That is the power it has. It's just that we need to realize it, harness it. When it comes to ecosystem, funding definitely, but from the community side, you have the governance policy, you have the infrastructure, it has to be state-of-the-art, accessible, which means it has to be local. The health, the physical fitness, it is physical as well as mental. When I say mental, it is broad. Physically, we are all at that place. Mentally, the ones who are tough, they take the cake. You see any sports, on that day, how good he's feeling. And on that only day, he cannot feel good. He has to be feeling good right from the beginning. That is the kind of training we have to give him. Even if he is in coma, he should feel good. That is the level of training we should. The muscle memory should be so strong, so good. So, variety. And I'm very sure you'll hear more of it. Now that I've been cautioned to leave the place, you'll hear more of sustainability development programs. Otherwise, we'll talk over dinner. So thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, audience. Actually, I thought after the sumptuous lunch, you will find it hard to actually ask me questions, so I was not expecting questions. But once again, thank you. It is an absolute pleasure, absolute honor, an absolute privilege to be here amongst you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commodore. So the topic in our next line is the role of family and personal support network. And we have a very distinguished speaker here. But before that, I'll just explain a bit about the importance of role that the family plays here. So it's not just the role of the coaches and the trainers that are important, but the family as well. I think we can attest this all by ourselves. Without the support of the family, it is very difficult to get to the next level, right? I think we all know that. So maintaining good mental health and staying motivated is a large part of being an athlete. And family and friends are key to ensuring that athletes have a springboard for success. So our speaker here is a 9-dan black belt and 3 times world champion and the director of the National Assembly Taekwondo Federation of the Republic of South Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming to the stage Grandmaster Professor Hee-Do Kim.
존경하는 수석 장관님과 또 체육인 여러분, 이렇게 만나뵙게 되어서 너무나 반갑습니다.
Respect Chief Guest, Chief Minister, and Honorable Guest, and it's a so privilege and pleasure present to meet you all.
저는 미조람에 계시는 여러분들을 처음 뵙지만 올림픽 금메달리스트가 고향으로 돌아오는 듯한 착각을 일으킬 정도로 열렬히 환영해 주시는 것에 대해서 몸둘 바를 모르겠습니다.
Although this is my first time to meeting you all in Mizoram, I am so glad to touch and like an Olympic gold medalist had welcome here so warmly, and I am so returning to feeling like our hometown.
저는 해외 90여 차례 출장으로 60여 개국을 순회하며 태권도 시범과 지도를 해왔고 2006년도, 2007년도, 2016년도까지 WT 세계 품새 선수권 대회에서 금메달을 획득하여 3차례 세계 챔피언을 했습니다.
I have traveled overseas more than 90 times on business trip, more than throughout the 60th country to demonstrate and teaching Taekwondo. I won 3 times the gold medalist at the WT World Champion Pumse Championship in 2006 and 2007 and 2016.
현재 제 나이가 69세지만 작년에는 품새 선수로 4번 출전하여 4번 모두 금메달을 획득하였으며 이번 미조람에 방문한 것처럼 앞으로도 미조람 아마추어 태권도 협회와 인도 태권도 협회를 지속적으로 돕기로 결정했습니다. 게다가 평안을 사랑하는 태권도인으로서 태권도를 적극적으로 여러 나라에 방문해서 홍보하려고 평화를 보고하는 데 앞장설 것입니다.
To be frankly speaking to you all, I am currently, whether you believe or not, just a 69 years young boy.
태권도는 전 세계
Nevertheless, last year I participated 4 times as a Pumse player and won 2 times the gold medal at national level championship as well as 2 times the international championship which is held in Republic of Korea. Just as I reached out the Mizoram state yesterday afternoon, in this memorable trip, I have decided to enhance the MATA, Mizoram Amateur Taekwondo Association, and Taekwondo Federation of India, which is affiliation with the government of India and IOA. And I delight to continue to, furthermore, will be visiting many various countries and initiate promoting and then spreading peace as an ambassador of, as a person who is really loving Taekwondo.
태권도는 전 세계에 214개국의 회원국을 보유할 정도로 많이 보급되어 있습니다. 2000년 시드니 올림픽 때부터 정식 종목으로 채택이 되어서 오늘까지 이어오고 있습니다.
As you know, Taekwondo is so popular and that is a member from the more than 214 countries around the world.
여러분이 알다시피 태권도는 맨발, 맨손을 사용해서 호신 능력을 배양하고 인간이 가야 할 올바른 길을 지향하는 인성교육이 담겨있는 전 세계인들로부터 각광받고 있는 것은 전인 교육이 되기 때문이라고 생각이 됩니다.
Taekwondo is attracting the attention of people around the world because it is not only teaching self-defense skills without the using weapon, but hands and feet, but also contain the character education that aim for right faith for humans to work together. I think this is because this day is the holistic education.
충효예를 지향하는 태권도는 대한민국의 얼과 혼이 담긴 전통 무예이며 또한 대한민국의 국기입니다. 태권도의 5대 정신을 살펴보면 다음과 같습니다.
Taekwondo is one of the traditional martial arts which pursues the loyalty, affiliation, the piety, and then custody, and embody the spirit and the soul of the Republic of Korea. And it is a national sport of the Republic of Korea too. If we look at the five spirit of the Taekwondo, they are like followers.
첫 번째 A가 있습니다. 서로 공경하고 의리를 지키며 사람의 도리를 다 해야 한다는 것이 A인 것입니다.
First spirit, all the custody mean respect to one another, each other, be loyal, and do everything you should as a human being.
두 번째는 염치입니다. 사람의 행동에 어긋난 행동에는 부끄러움을 느낄 줄 알아야 됩니다.
Secondly, self-awareness, the knowing how you feel, disgraceful behavior that goes against human behavior.
세 번째는 인내인 것입니다. 어떠한 어려움도 참고 견디며 스스로 이겨낸다는 것입니다.
Third is patient, enduring any difficulty and overcoming any situation by own your hand.
네 번째는 극기라고 합니다. 자기의 욕구와 욕망을 참고 이겨서 끝까지 굳건한 의지를 기른다는 것입니다.
Fourth is grit. The cultivate the form will be by the enduring the perseverance of effort.
마지막 다섯 번째 백절불굴입니다. 어떠한 어려움도 굴하지 않고 바르게 이겨낸다는 것입니다.
Finally, indominate, overcome any situation and difficulty without giving up.
이러한 태권도의 무술적 가치, 체육적 가치, 정신적 가치를 청소년기부터 잘 교육을 시키면 건전한 정신과 건강한 신체를 가진 훌륭한 인격을 소유한 성인들로 장성하여 인도 사회의 미래를 이끌어갈 훌륭한 인재들이 될 것으로 확신합니다.
I am confident that if the Taekwondo martial art, any other martial art, physically and spiritually value of the Taekwondo are taught well from the adolescence and then childhood, they will grow up and to be adults with a sound mind and a healthy body and great character and will become great talent who will lead the future of India's society.
미국이나 중국 그 밖에 많은 나라에서 태권도를 학교 교과목으로 채택하고 있습니다. 어린 불량 학생들을 태권도를 꾸준히 시켰더니 나중에는 좋은 지도자가 되는 경우도 많이 있다는 소문을 들었습니다. 이와 같이 행동 철학이 태권도 교육의 중점적인 교육이므로 어린이들과 청소년들에게 큰 효과가 있는 것입니다.
Many countries, including the United States and China, have adopted Taekwondo as a school syllabus and subject. I heard true story that there are many cases where young delinquent students were taught Taekwondo and eventually became the good instructor and good personality. In this way, the philosophy of action is the main focus of the Taekwondo education, and so it is very scope and effective on early childhood and adolescence.
인도 체육회와 마타 앤 TFI를 통해서 태권도 교육을 더욱 활성화시켜 인도 전체에 선한 영향력을 행사할 수 있기를 기대해 봅니다. 대한민국에 있는 세계 태권도 본부 국기원에서도 적극적으로 도울 수 있도록 저도 최선을 다하겠습니다. 이러한 노력들이 결실을 맺어 2036년에 올림픽을 유치할 수 있기를 저도 기대하면서 열심히 응원하겠습니다.
We hope that India Sports Council can further revitalize the Taekwondo as an instrument of the education, exert the positive influence in Mizoram as well as all India. I would like to do all my best to establish your support and through all help of the Cookie One and MATA and then TFI and the World Taekwondo Federation and Republic of Korea, I hope that this effort will be bearing fruit constantly. We will be able to host one of the best historical record Summer Olympic in 2036. And I will supporting Mizoram as well as all India. And I appreciate your patient listen word and then support. And I'll do believing that through India, merely would many excellence the Olympic medalists come out. Thank you. Namaste. Do you have any question? I was the former Indian team national coach, and while I'm training the Indian team, as the sportsman officer, I was trained the service team, CSF and CRPM, and then all the police department too. I am here almost 30 years. I observe all the sports and activity. I trained the Sports Authority of India, Bangalore and Kolkata, and even other states also. So I have many various experience. So please kindly question forward.
Thank you so much, Grandmaster, for your speech. I'll have to say 감사합니다 for that.
감사하다고 전해드립니다. 감사합니다.
You know, believe it or not, Taekwondo is one of the most, I will say that popular sports in this state of Mizoram. It may not be so in the other states, but in Mizoram it is one of the most popular sports in the state. So what are the chances? I want you to be very honest. I don't want you to please me with your answer. But what are the chances of an Indian, Taekwondo player to get medals? To start with at Asian Games, and number 2 in Olympics.
이 올림픽을 따기 위해서 어떤 노력을 가야 될지 얘기를 하라는 아니면 제가 얘기할까요?
이렇게 일단은 태권도 겨루기는 올림픽 종목에 들어있지만은 품새는 아직 안 들어갔는데 제가 생각에는
According to my thought,
우선은 많은 국민들이 마음이 하나로 모아져야 된다고 생각을 합니다.
I think all Indians should be together, be conciliant, jumping together with the knowledge.
그렇게 했을 때 그다음에 이 운동을 통해서 뭔가 사회적 가치, 교육적 가치 어떤 가치가 있었을 때 이걸 적극적으로 홍보하고 알리고 또 많은 전 세계인들이 공유할 때에 올림픽 종목으로 결정될 수 있는 종목이 되는 거라고 생각을 합니다.
It shouldn't be just like a moment. It should be movement. The movement should be by all the people of India should together, and we have to value all the not only sports but also value of the coach, value of the family, value of the government leadership. All collaborate together, then we can elevate more higher performing and visibly.
동서고금을 막론하고 각 정치적으로, 교육적으로 여러 가지 종목들로 갈기갈기 찢어져 있는 그런 마음인데 이 스포츠를 통해서 마음을 하나로 합치는 이런 것들이 굉장히 중요하다고 생각을 합니다.
The sport is like combined and common area. Though we have a vision, but if we are division, we lost the way. Same way, we must combine together, avoid all the division, carry the vision with a stable mind and a strong support. Then therefore we can achieve it.
인도에서 제가 알기로는 첫 번째 이번 행사가 있는 걸로 아는데 이런 행사들이 자주 여러 번 들어서 모든 국민들에게 홍보를 하고 많은 여론을 경청을 해서 마음을 한데로 모아서 적극적으로 해외로 또 많은 사람들에게 전해서 이 올림픽을 유치할 수 있도록 이렇게 또 정치적으로도 활동을 많이 해야 되겠죠.
And also diplomatic, and then we need a political support, not only just within the domestic meeting, should invite many various foreign policy and then ambassador should invite India to expose this sports conclave for 2036. Not that within in India, number of times open up this kind of meeting and inclusive all the foreign policy members.
우리 대한민국은 서울 올림픽을 통해서 월드컵을 통해서 굉장히 경제적으로 또 전 세계적으로 위상이 높아졌습니다.
Our Korea, South Korea, smaller country, and 32 times bigger than Korea, India. But nevertheless, we are hosting the 1988 Olympic as well as 2002 World Cup. Throughout that, our name also become very high in the world.
2036년도에 리조함에서 리조함?
아니요, 인디아.
일단은 2036년도에 인도에 올림픽이 유치되어 가지고 그 이후로 인도가 전 세계 우뚝 서는 그런 부강한 나라가 되기를 바라겠습니다.
I hope in 2036 India hosting the Summer Olympic Game, and throughout that Summer Olympic Game should be number one country in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? Thank you, sir, for your initiative.
I think that's it, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Grandmaster Kim, Master Lee. So we are at the end of our 4th session. So what have we known? What have we gained from these sessions? So what we need to know, I think, here for closure is that we need to remember, what we need to remember from this session should be that everyone needs a support system. So sorry. I just had a black coffee. I haven't had it in the morning, I just needed it. So everyone needs a support system, and athletes need them more so than anyone else. And that for a sports ecosystem to flourish, there needs to be good balance between the stakeholders. And all these are the pathways into building a successful sports ecosystem, and that will help us to achieve our vision of the 2036 Olympics. And with that, I will end my time here for the 4th session, and I think we have a special item here, and I'll let Rodfella take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Marota. Now, with all this talk about athletes, we might as well show you the audience, more of those athletes as well. So this special item will be from the Mizoram Amateur Taekwondo Association again, as last time. Let's welcome them to the stage. Let's give them a big round of applause, please.